Hello everyone, my name is Stanisław Frejak, I am professional one dan, and this time we are reviewing games from the not the London Open 2023. This is the first round. Fang Chun takes black, Chang Mingxuan takes white. The game starts with a Joseki on the right side, and then white decides to play a pincer. It might be seen as a bit unusual because there are already black stones on the other side. So usually we pincer when we have a stone. So why is it that white chooses this pincer? I believe that it's because black's shape is a bit thin. If black is not careful, then later white might go for a cut. It might be a bit difficult for black to handle. So we might expect that black will actually play a counter pincer, yeah, to not let white use that agi. And then what to do? We have the lonely stone on the bottom, and there is also a bit weak stone of black. Should we attack it? Should we maybe jump out? White decides that this only gives black a chance to play in the corner, so white plays from the corner by himself, but this looks like white stone is now not very useful. If white will continue on that side, black might cover this stone, and maybe white didn't want it to go this way. On the other hand, if we jump, black can put pressure on our group. White chose an interesting move, attachment. What is the idea? Black cannot really ignore this move because once white gets center, let's say it goes like this, white gets center, and white gets another move on the bottom. This is good for white to continue after the attachment. So instead, black might consider a hane from below or from above, but actually, this is white's plan. White wants to play a few moves, get stronger here, and then still have time to go back to the left side. Black chose a very simple move. Black just descended. This is a recommended answer if we don't want to give the opponent many center moves. However, now white can probably play on the left side. White already made sure with this exchange that black cannot really cover white's stone, so maybe now it's a good time to go to the left side. But then white thought that if black plays this covering move, it's not even clear if the AB is a good exchange. If we don't make this exchange, let's say we just start with this one, then later we can play on the bottom, or we can leave it for now. Later maybe we will manage to use the agi in some other way. And white thought, maybe still we don't want to get covered. And then white jumped out. But if white continues with this jump out, then clearly the exchange A to B is bad for white. It only strengthened black. And to white it didn't give much. So white jumps out, and then black can simply put pressure on the group on the left. Black played it, probably hoping that it will be a variation like this. Black would get very strong, white's group on the bottom is getting weak. But instead, white found a very powerful counter. White played this empty triangle and then cut. This looks audacious. It looks like not a good move, because usually such a stone would be captured in a ladder, but this time the ladder doesn't work, thanks to white's jump. So what can black do? If we cannot capture the stone, should we just go out? If we just go out, then white will get territory on the left side, the fifth line territory. Probably now the two stones of black are going to die. What else can we do? Should we jump here? Then white will just cover the three stones. Black's position starts looking quite thin. It's a bit common to have such a position, and then key move is to play the hane on the second line. It gives a lot of strength to black, and it puts pressure on white. Now white's group in the corner is not completely alive yet. If white adds a move in the corner, then black's plan is very simple. Black can just play this loose ladder, maybe sacrifice the stones. Black is already happy with what happened. Moreover, if you look closer, you can realize that black can even capture white's stone if black plays like this. So this is unacceptable for white. White cannot play in the corner. Then white needs to help the stone in the center. I expected this move, covering black stones and taking away a liberty. Black has very few liberties. If black goes down to get more liberties, white can just live in the corner, and then it might look a bit hopeless, but in fact black can play this wedge, then go through. Perhaps black can save the stones. But white will get strength to attack the stones on the other side. We might try to think more about a block, and then what happens if white tries to just take away black's liberties. So the situation is very complicated. But in the game, white chose anyway a different move. White went up, not taking away black's liberty, but putting more pressure on the group on the left side. So perhaps a good choice. What can black do? We already said about this possibility of going down, and then maybe somehow we can try to go out. But this time it looks all more painful, with white having this stone standing up and black's group on the left side being very thin. Black has a better move. The key is to not be too attached to particular stones and always being flexible. Black plays this peep, and this shows that black is ready to sacrifice the 3 stones, because if white wants, white can play here. And I don't think that black's plan was to fight in this way. Black's plan is to just take the corner. Because if you look at this variation, it was supposed to be white's corner, and now it is black's corner. All right, white got strong and captured black 3 stones. But black got all these points, and now again we look at this exchange. Such a good exchange for black. Now this stone at A doesn't give anything to white, because white is already very strong. So black is ready to take, but white is not ready to give it. White plays from the corner, and now we will realize a difference between this variation and the previous one. Because this time white is not completely alive yet, and in this variation white already has 2 eyes. Here locally black can play this one and destroy white's eyes. Black continues with a very interesting Tsuji, this wedge. At first you might look at this move and again think that it's crazy. Cannot white play this one? In fact, it's not very easy. Black can go out with the stone and white cannot capture it in a ladder. So again we have this situation in this game that you can play this move, which looks crazy because usually it would be captured in a ladder, if in the particular position the ladder doesn't work and you have strength nearby, so that white really doesn't want to get cut. In such a position, white needs to think of some alternative, maybe connect here, but then black's plan is to go out and cut. White might be in a big trouble. So white chooses a different move, plays Atari from this side, and then how to continue. You can see that there is a Tsuji at the J2, which gives black a connection. So if white wants to split black, white needs to play this move, but this is unreasonable because black can anyway go out and white will end up with a heavy group on the bottom. Instead, it's a better idea to cover black from the top and let black play this J2 move. Of course, white also needs to be very careful and read if it's not possible for black to maybe kill the group in the corner. So yeah, you need to read this capturing race. But then white played this one and black connects with J2. So this looks more reasonable for white. But when I looked at this position, I thought that probably an even better option for white is to not touch the position for now, because there is a weak group nearby and we can attack it. If white plays this one, black again cannot capture the group in the corner because black doesn't have enough liberties. So black will need to answer one way or another. And then we can expect some sort of a fight. And who knows? Maybe in this fight, white will obtain a stone which will make it possible to play at J2 and capture the whole group of black. Maybe we don't want to give this much strength to black, but we can consider such an idea. Of course, we also need to have it clear that black cannot run out. So this would be an idea, but white chooses a more simple way, just covers black, forces black to connect, and only then puts pressure on the black. So again, white doesn't want to just go back and live in the corner, because then black develops comfortably on the left side, and white's group in the center is a bit thin. White can get some strength first by pressing black towards the second line, like this, and only later live in the corner. So now black already gained quite many liberties, but still, if black tries to capture white in a corner, maybe black doesn't have enough liberties. A bit difficult capturing race. Maybe we can expect a call, but a call, if white gets so much strength on the outside, on the other hand, this one is a two-step call. So perhaps white should start with decreasing black's liberties like this. Anyway, a complicated capturing race. Black decides to play from the group first and tries to get something on the outside by cutting white, and black indeed managed to get a bonus. First cut white and then a tesuji. How can white answer? Maybe white wants to answer here, but then black's move around here becomes senta. Similarly, if white plays here, this move of black becomes senta. And if this move is senta, it means that black can live. And probably then white also needs to go back and live. In the game, white played this one, but still black got this in senta. Because if white ignores, then black can go through. White can capture this in a ladder. White needs to add a move. It would be very good if we can add a move here and not here as white did in the game, because the shape is worse. Now there might be a liberty problem, a liberty issue of these stones, because they will have only 3 liberties, right? It would be better if we can play this move. Now we cannot expect any issues with liberties, but white was afraid that then black can start a capturing race. Again, it's a bit difficult, but as far as I counted, white was correct and black would win this capturing race by 1 liberty. But then it's a good question. Could black just start with this move? Because it would be much better if we leave this shape and not this shape. But black was afraid for some reason. What can white do? Play here? Then black goes this. Is it not good enough? I think this is good enough for black. I think that black should try to play this move first and not the attachment, because it becomes a bad exchange. White played this, taking black's liberty. Black lived and white also lived. And now it's an interesting position. Where should be the next move on the board? One thing you should see is that these 2 stones are left alone and black already got strong on the other side. So perhaps a pincer is a good idea. But then you can also see that there are these 3 stones, which can either become very weak and have no purpose in life. If white adds another move, then they are just stones. Theoretically, they are cutting stones, but they are cutting 2 strong groups. Or they can become a problem for white if black plays from them. And black decided that this is a more important direction of play and jumped. This jump shows very clearly what is black's goal. Black's goal is to continue with this move because it feels good. It utilizes white's weakness in shape. White answered like this and black is happy to get this exchange. But still, it's not the best what black did, because white is anyway strong here. And yeah, black got a few stones in the center, but is it worth it? At the same time, white got a big corner. A better choice for black would be to push. This is too easy for white. The best choice is to attach, because this group is heavy. If this group gets captured, then white's position becomes very bad. So white cannot play freely like this, let's say, because then the group on the left side will be in trouble. Instead, white needs to come up with some other idea. But what should white do? Should white hane? Then black plays counter hane. And then what happens? If white connects, black captures this in ladder. This would be a very good result for black. Tap, 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 tap. And then if white captures this stone, again, black is probably happy with this result, capturing white's 3-4 stone. So this gives white a difficult choice. Maybe white needs to go down. But if your opponent just pulls back like this after your attachment, then you are happy with the exchange. Now black can maybe even continue simply like this, and later black can also jump if black likes this move so much, but probably it's better to continue on this side. But black wanted to use that specific agi, so that's why black continued from here. White added a move. But in fact, white could play this one. Probably white didn't want black to play here and extend. Now it looks stupid, right? That white played the move at A and black in that time played B and C. But white didn't think when black takes away the liberty, white can counter Atari. And then white can sacrifice the 2 stones. They are not important anymore because black already added a move to live with the group. Anyway, it's a minor issue. Then black continues on the right side, as we said before, and white certainly needs to help the stones. How to help them? Well, we lean on the group, which is anyway strong, so we play this one, and then we play not an attachment, a boshi, a capping move against the other stone. And now white looked at the position and felt that it still lacks a move, so maybe it's good to already play away, but then white thought black can play like this, like that. The group becomes very thin and white wanted to help it. Where is the shape? Here, not a good shape. White didn't find any shape, so maybe like this, but then still there is that agi. White thought, all right, let's do it somehow actively and attached. But this was not a good choice because it made black much stronger. If we don't do it, we can still go from below, or later in the game we might consider some moves which would attack black's group. But after this attachment, yeah, our group gets stronger, but look where is black's wall facing and where white wall faces. White wall is facing 0 points or 3 points. White is over concentrated, so this was not a good choice, and it's better to play away. Like, even if black does it, we can still somehow manage the group, or we can also leave it. There are other big moves on the board, not only the right side. Anyway, white played like this, and only then played on the top side. Now black uses an interesting move. If black already has stones on the right side, it's sometimes a used technique to play this knight's move in the corner, not strengthening white, just taking your points. And the common answer of white is to play on the side. I expected this move. But white decided to be a bit more active, and white's choice is beautiful. White plays this one. Black added a move, because if not, then the group is in trouble. Then white can just add a move and be happy, but white somehow didn't want to do it. Maybe white didn't want to give points to black like this, but white is getting so much. Anyway, white's choice might be judged as a little bit greedy now, because black will certainly not answer from the side and not give white all that top side. Instead, black pincered white. It gives white a possibility to go into the corner. We will see it in a moment. Yeah. Now, first peep, interesting peep, and then go to the corner. But white's group is still thin, and it might now try to get a bit from that moyo, from that topside moyo, but then black will attack white's group. This we don't want, so white wants to help the group first. This is also a commonly used technique. If black plays this one, maybe white had some smart plan like this, and then using that AB exchange. So black connected. White played a move which looks very natural, but in fact it was a little mistake. Black went through, and now how to continue? It looks natural to Atari and then play this tiger's mouth as it connects the shape of white, all the shape. But even though the shape is connected, black can harass it very painfully. I'm not sure if white will manage to live, but even if white lives, black will get everything what black can dream about and then play on the top side. So white realized it and played this one, hoping that we can make this exchange and only then go back to the good shape. But of course, black doesn't have to answer to this move. So black played on the right side, and now white can connect, but it's a bit slow. Yeah, so how should white play? White had another choice. Thanks to A-B exchange, we can go out. Black can push and cut, but now we can use a driving Tesuji. And even though we sacrifice a lot, now the 3 stones of black look almost dead. But white chose a move which maybe looks more natural, but it was a bit worse. And then black plays this Hane to get a big territory, and white still tries to go back to that idea of the driving to Suji somehow. White plays this one, and now an interesting thing happened in the game. The game was broadcasted, so you can watch it on YouTube, that now black put a stone here. But after this move, white can, of course, place this double Atari, and game is over. Yeah, this mistake is too big. But black realized it in a second and changed the position of the stone before pressing the clock to this one. The opponent didn't complain, and the game continued. I think it's a good sportsmanship by white that white didn't complain. Black extended in the end, and white now can play this comfortable Atari, destroying black's shape, making it an empty triangle. And white continued to push, hoping to get a leverage to attack the other group. But now black decided to help the other group because white doesn't have that strong of a continuation. And with that move, black goes into white's area. How will be the game? How will the game be? Black already gained a big territory on the right side. Probably, I would say that the beginning of the game was a bit better for white in general, with that result that white covered black and then still lived in the corner and then still got that e14 move, getting a very big corner. But then white played a few slack moves, and white also missed a chance to get a big moyo on the top. Instead gave black this possibility to go into that moyo, and still black got the big right side. So maybe white is a bit short on points right now. We can try to quickly count points because here we see the 10th line. So we see 30 points minus a few, plus a few, plus a few more. So black has 40 points on the right side. Then on the bottom, there is also 2 times 10, which is 20, plus a few, so 25. So this is 40 plus 25 plus a few, maybe up to 70 points. And white has how many? Here we have 3 times 6, so it's 20 with this one. Then a few here, a few there, 30, maybe 35. Komi, it's already 40, maybe a few more points on the top. So we need at least 25 more points. And white has a potential on the top, but this is not a potential for 25 points. If white gets only this much, then black has only one goal to connect the 2 weak groups, and then black wins the game. So instead, white needs to attack the group on the top. And white does it with this capping move. And yeah, black is covered. It will be a very difficult fight for the game. This piece is very sharp, and taking away the possibility to go out or to break through somehow. But black can now try to live on the side. Is it possible? Black starts with a very flexible move, placed in the corner. If now white adds a move on the right side, black can split white, so this is not acceptable. White adds a move, and then black attaches. It becomes quite complicated. Black plays this and that. How should white think of this position? We lose that big territory on the top side. We lose a possibility to create it. But white shouldn't think about this position in this way because there is still one more weak group. And if white wants to win the game, if we cannot attack and kill it, and black also lives independently on the top side, then yeah, then white is lost. But white should remember about that weak group. And maybe instead of playing this one, maybe it's a better choice to play on the side, let black go through. If we can still hope to somehow launch a splitting attack. This is the strategy, that we can let one of the group live, but still attack the other group and kill. Maybe this was a better move, I don't know. Difficult to say. In the game, black finds a combination, now plays Atari, and after this move, it's possible for black probably to capture these 2 stones. If white plays in the corner, black can play this one. It's still a bit complicated, but perhaps black can capture these stones. Oh, sorry. Aye. Black needs to add a move somehow. And then, yeah, it will be a capturing grace, but probably black can capture these stones of white. So white added a move, but then black puts pressure on white in the corner. And it looks like white is slowly collapsing because now white has only 4 liberties, and the only variation white found was a ko variation. This leads to a ko. If black connects, it's complicated, but white can still count on this ending up as a ko because white can play this and that, if I am not mistaken. Yeah, like this, it might become a seki locally, so this would be a success for white. And if black plays from the other side, black also doesn't have enough liberties, so it should be this ko. It should be this ko. Maybe black can start it with this move. For now, black plays moves on the outside, maybe trying to make threats, maybe trying to attack white a bit. And white played a bit not understandable move now, maybe already under time pressure. White needs to somehow cover black, but yeah, black gets a lot on the outside and still it is a ko. So the position of white is pretty bad. But white played this one, which allowed black to go out And soon black captured white stone in a ladder, which means that black connects these two groups. Now, even if there is no call there, probably black can win this game because black already connected the two weak groups, and there is a call. There is a call. So yeah, now black just connects the three stones. Now black can play very simply, in a very simple manner, and black should be good. So black just made sure that the group lives, that the big dragon lives, and white resigned. I think both players performed very well in this game, and it was fun to watch. That's it for now. See you. Bye bye.